Another one. Another one. Another one.
This motherfucker don't miss.
No, he's fucking good.
That motherfucker don't miss, man.
He's good.
In the heat of battle, he don't miss.
No.
In the heat of controversy, he don't miss.
No.
Can't stop. Won't stop.
Would you agree with that, disagree, or have a testimonial?
I feel like most have.
Can I do my introduction real quick? Hey guys, we're live. We're in Ludlow and Clifton, my old stomping grounds actually. And today the topic, you see it on the screen. Get in the comments, get active. We're live on YouTube, so I'll let you guys give a shout out for your Instagram and all that good stuff. The name of my channel is called Sky Daddy 44s. Sky Daddy represents God. 44s, it's like 490-degree angles.
Yeah.
So I'm God's son. It's a play on like words. And we're asking people, do all men pay for spicy fun at some point? So, I'm sorry, what's your name?
Megan.
Megan, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
All right, so we're live. So would you agree with that, disagree, or have a testimonial?
I would agree. I think most men have paid for content.
Okay.
I mean, I'm sure there's like a few that haven't, but I
Okay.
think most men probably have.
Do you think that a husband actually pays for spicy
Yeah.
fun? Okay.
Yeah,
Why would you say that?
because men are dogs.
I would disagree with that. But in a way, like, a marriage is not official until they consummate, right?
No.
Yeah?
No, I think marriage is like a one-on-one thing. I don't think that means shit.
Gotcha. So you just think in some way, shape, or form, all men have paid for, spicy fun with women?
Yes.
Okay. Wow, interesting. What would you say, young lady? Would you agree that all men have paid at some point for spicy fun with women?
I don't really know. Maybe it depends, I guess, on
Yeah.
the person.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Like, even if a guy takes you on like a date or something like that, do you think like his long-term goal or his, plan is to try to get to that point?
I guess it depends on who you're talking about.
Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Do you think a husband would continue to do husband stuff if he felt like that element wasn't there?
I don't know. I guess it depends on the person. Yeah.
Like, taking her to like shows and just like,
I mean, he could still do that, but then he's still gonna go home and get on Reddit,
Do you think he would do it if there was no opportunity for that?
Like, what do you like?
Like, he knew that they were never going to do anything
Oh,
like that. Do you think he would still want to be like, doing husband stuff?
yeah, but I think if you're not willing to experiment and try with your partner, then that's a thing y'all got to talk about.
Yeah.
It's a boundary thing.
Gotcha. Well, very interesting. That's my first interview for today. If you guys want to give a shout out to like your Instagram, your YouTube, anything else, social media that you guys
Shout out to my band 300 Dreams on Instagram at ratgirl1997. That's my band 300 Dreams.
Yeah.
Look her up, guys. Look her up. You want to give a shout out to like
Shout
your...
out to the other dreams, man.
That's
All right,
what's
cool.
up.
Do you ever play at the garage over there?
No, we play at Feel It Records down the street though.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, well, I appreciate your time.
Thank you. I'm eating my ice cream though.
Thank you. Have a good one. Hey, fellas. Can I ask you for a quick interview for my YouTube channel? Come on, guys.
Well, what's the interview?
It's real quick. I'm trying to prove that all men pay at some point for spicy fun with women. Would you guys agree?
Spicy? No.
Agree, disagree?
No, I disagree. Spicy what?
Spicy fun. I can't say the word because we're live.
No, I disagree.
You disagree with that?
I disagree.
Why would you say you disagree?
I think. Well, I don't know. I can't speak wrong.
Wouldn't you
I
say
can't
that a
speak wrong.
husband at some point, in order to make the marriage legal, he has to consummate? You think he would want to be married to a wife and continue to do husband duties if he knew he was never going to have any spicy fun?
I don't know. These are high level questions. I'd say it's obviously dependent on the individual, and I'd say the majority would say no.
Yeah. Would you continue to listen to her problems and be her emotional teapot if you knew that there was no hope? Can I interview you, Big Dog, in just a second? I'm doing a survey. Okay, I'll meet you. I'll catch you down there. If you knew there was no opportunity that you were going to have any spicy fun at any point.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I'd have to put myself
Come
in
on,
the
man.
situation. I haven't been in a situation. I can't. I know. I'm speaking like a politician.
I know, man. You're good at it,
It's
too.
difficult to say.
Man, you're good at it. What would you say, my man? Would you say...
I don't know. It's difficult when you haven't been in the situation yet. So I can't speak.
So when you go on a date with a girl, at some point you're paying for all those dates, you don't think that she wants some spicy fun?
No, probably not.
Ah! Come on. All right, guys. I think we're getting some dishonest people here, but it's some great interviews nonetheless. I think we're warming up. All right, guys, I didn't give you my introduction. I mean, we had a couple of people that were right there, so I want to get right to it. But I am the Temu coach. I am the great value of podcasting content. All right, guys, I didn't give you my introduction. Hold on, let me turn this thing off. God. All right, guys, again, and I'm getting a little echo.
Live streaming, rap, ballad, recording, popular, Book Connect, conference, live streaming, rap, ballad, recording studio. Bluetooth mode, original sound. Okay, we're back. I am the Temu coach. I am the great value of podcasting content. I am the one-man marching band, but most importantly, I am just here to deliver the message. And again, what the topic is about today is that do all men pay? Do all men pay at some point to have spicy fun with women? Of course, we can't say, sex because we're on YouTube, but that's what I'm alluding to. My DJ cameraman YT just put me onto a little bit of game. He said maybe I should try to word it a little bit differently. So if you catch those first two interviews and you say, hey, you kind of switch it up a little bit, I'm trying to get to the point to where guys can see where I'm coming from, where all men pay, because that's the side that I'm on. So let's see if we get a few more interviews, and let's see if I can word it a little bit better. Stay with me, stay with me, stay with me. All right, let's ask this couple. This ought to be fun. Hey, excuse me, couple. Can I do a quick survey for my street interview YouTube channel?
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Okay, I appreciate your time. All right, let's ask this brother. He looks like he's down. What's going on, big dog? Nothing new, man. I got a YouTube channel. I talk about all different types of subjects. Typically, it's spiritual, but today I got a secular conversation that I'm trying to spark off. We live on YouTube right now. If you want to see this interview, the name of my channel is called Sky Daddy 4 Force. Sky Daddy represents the Most High. 4 Force represents 4 90-degree angles or a perfect circle. So I'm God's son, and so are you. Nice to meet you. My name's Charles, by the way. Curtis, nice to meet you. So Curtis, my topic today is that I'm trying to prove that all men pay for spicy fun. I can't say the word because we're on YouTube Live, but would you agree, disagree, or have a testimonial about that?
I agree.
Okay. So you feel like a husband, in some way, shape, or form, he's actually paying to have that spicy fun with his wife.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, got you. So in a sense, would you say that all women are P-toots? If you catch my drift? P-fun actors?
Yeah, in a sense. I would say that, yeah.
Got you.
Yeah. And some.
Okay.
Yeah, some you can tell.
Yeah, they call it lonely fans nowadays.
Yeah, some you can tell, yeah.
And do you think that it should be legalized? Because, I mean, I'm halfway to 80, and if somebody would have told me 20 years ago that we could sports bet and that we can go into a dispensary and buy, marijuana, I would have never believed it. But, I mean, here we are today.
Yeah.
So do you see at some point that it should be legal, or it will be legal, and should it be legal?
It's been happening for so many years. I don't know if
Oldest profession, right?
Yeah, the oldest profession. So, yeah, I don't think it should be legal. Yeah, because then women won't work.
Well, they is kind of working in a way.
Yeah, I mean, but you know what I'm saying? They having fun working. Guys will try to work too then. Yeah. I mean, I want a job.
Well, we can't sell it though.
Right,
we got that refractionary period is a mug. You got 2 times.
I don't know, you might can sell it though.
Yeah. After about that week, you cooked.
Yeah, you can see, yeah.
And audience, getting that.
Stay vitamin up.
I don't think it's enough vitamins in the world. We're gonna be out in about 3 weeks. Yeah. But get in the comments, get active. Let me know what you guys think about it.
because I totally agree that all men pay in some way, shape, or form. And honestly, I think that's the way that it should work. I don't think that we should get it for free, because that's why we got a lot of pookie spawns running around, and that's why we got a lot of women that's selling themselves short because they're not getting any value out of it. So all men do pay.
Well, I figure if you pay for it, then it ain't worth it. You gotta pay for it.
You feel like
Because it ain't love.
right?
That's what we do. When we do that, we're trying to express our love. Some of us.
Got you. So do you think that women are capable of loving us, or do you think they receive love?
I think some are capable, just like some men. Some men ain't capable of giving love, showing love.
Got you. What would be an example of a woman giving you love?
I would say, making sure you're all right. Making sure you're all right. Making sure, you got what you need. Like, she got what she needs. You got what you need. Yeah.
Okay, so like a value exchange.
Right.
Gotcha.
Trying to make sure you're all right. Checking on you and everything. Showing you compassion and, comforting you when you're down and like that.
All right. Very, very interesting. Very interesting. Well, Curtis, I appreciate your time. I just want to give a shout out to your YouTube channel, social media, anything that you have. Go ahead and give a shout out. We live on YouTube right now, and I have over 3,000 subs. So you never know, man. You might go viral.
Shout out.
Well, I appreciate your time.
All right, bro. Y'all be easy, man.
Hey, how you lovely ladies doing? Can I do a quick survey for my YouTube channel? I got an amazing question today. It's very interesting. Okay, I appreciate it. Hey, my man, can I ask you a quick question for my YouTube channel? Okay, I appreciate you, man. All right, I think we got 3 interviews. Yeah, I might catch him on the rebound. I'll catch him on the rebound. All right, guys, we got about 3 interviews. I told you I'm going to be here for a good time, not a long time. And this topic's not going to go away. I'm going to continue to talk about this topic because I do want to get people's perspectives. And you can show some of these shops. Like, excuse me, ma'am, can I ask you a quick question for my YouTube channel? I'm doing a survey. Okay, I appreciate it. Have a great day. Tough crowd. Urgh. All right, let's see if we can get some more interviews. So we got a few more down here. Maybe that lady down there, we could do an interview with her. That guy looks lonely. Let's see if he'll do an interview with us. Hey, what's going on, my man? I got a YouTube channel that's up and coming, and we talk about spiritual stuff, but today I got a secular conversation. And today I'm asking people, do all men pay for spicy fun with women? Would you agree, disagree, or have a testimonial about that?
Say that again, please.
Do all men pay for spicy fun with women? I can't say the word because we're live on YouTube.
I got you.
Yeah. And say some way, shape, or form. Like even a husband, in some way, shape, or form, doesn't he kind of pay for spicy fun?
Well, is there any such thing as a free lunch? No, you pay for everything.
Hit him with the flame. For some reason, I knew he was going to be the one that's going to be able to put some game on it. And what's your name, man? I'm Charles.
I'm Dave.
Dave, nice to meet you. The name of the channel, if you want to see this interview, is called Sky Daddy 44s. But today I'm talking about secular topics because this conversation was brought up. And shout out to the Coach Tribe. I want to give a shout out to the great CGA who coined the phrase, Coach Greg Adams. So look him up on YouTube. He's pretty big. But we bring up this channel in like our man's group, and check that out on Locals and Patreon, guys. So definitely subscribe to that. So the topic today that I'm going around and asking people is, do all men in some way, shape, or form pay for spicy fun with women?
Yes.
Okay. Well, what would you say is an example of a boyfriend paying for spicy fun with a woman?
It's called quid pro quo. You gotta pay to play. And
This guy's cooking.
You can pay it all kinds of ways. You can pay, pay for dinner.
I just said
pay
that.
Emotionally. You can pay it all kinds of ways.
Well, we got an acronym in our men's space. We call it MEAT. You're going to pay for your meat. The M stands for money, the E stands for energy, the A stands for attention, and the T stands for time. So it's
That's about right.
So some guys will say, well, I don't pay monetarily, but it's like, well, how much energy did you pay? How much time did you pay?
Emotion.
How much attention, emotions did you pay? It's like you paid in some way, shape, or form. You just didn't see it. So yeah, you're totally.
And sometimes it's a good deal, and sometimes not as good of a deal.
Yeah, I'm all about the experience. So you win some, you lose some.
Exactly.
Yeah. Are you married by any chance?
I am not currently married.
Congratulations.
Thank Now you're editorializing. I didn't realize that. I'm just
Nah,
giving you the facts.
I get my 2 cents. I don't.
all right.
I see with the current, gynocentric system that we live in and the matriarchal that we live in. I don't see why any man would want to get married today. I don't see where the
I've got a
benefit is.
friend who says what you said.
Yeah. I don't see the benefit. I mean, with no fault divorce and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, she can just say, "Hey, I woke up on the wrong side of the bed," and bye kids, bye home.
Did you know? Here's a fact. Did you notice that 2 out of 3 relationships are ended by the woman?
Yeah.
That's twice as many ended by the woman as by the man.
I'm not exactly
That's
sure with this stat. Don't quote me. I would say like at least 80% of marriages are ended by a woman filing for divorce.
Yeah.
And then typically it's an irreconcilable differences, which is basically no fault.
Yeah.
Which means I just don't like you anymore, and
Or,
I'm gonna blow this whole thing up.
I'm gonna find some greener pastures.
Yeah.
Men are always on the hunt. Like,
Yeah.
that's what they say. Men are always on the hunt. Women want the stability, but then after a while, it's the other way around.
Yeah.
It's the other way around.
You think it gets that way as we get older?
Nah, as time goes by, I guess that's a way of getting older. But I think women, they seek that stability and they get it, and then they realize they didn't really want it.
Gotcha.
They wanted to be. They're on the hunt.
Well, let me ask you a next tier level question here.
Sure.
Do you see that it should be legalized? Because I'm halfway to 80, and if someone would have told me 20 years ago,
Are you serious?
yeah, I'm halfway to 80.
No way.
That black don't crack.
I
man.
don't believe you.
I am.
I do not believe you.
I'll show you my ID.
You're 1/3, maybe even 1/4.
But if someone would have told me that we could go to dispensaries and purchase marijuana, if someone would have told me that we could get online and sports bet 20 years ago, I would have never believed it.
I neither would have.
So do you see that at some point spicy fun will be legal, and should it be?
Anything should be legal. As long as it doesn't do anybody any harm.
Okay. Why do you see that it's not legal right now?
Because people are slow to change. They
Okay.
get ideas and notions and old habits, and they're slow to change. But like you said, dispensaries, boy, it was like the most illegal thing you can imagine for
Oh yeah.
60, 70, 80 years.
You get a call with a seed over in Kentucky, and it was, bye birdie for a little while.
Yeah, you can't get a job and all this kind of stuff. Take a whiz test,
Oh yeah.
whatever. And now it's like
Everybody does.
I was going to ask you if you're.
No, I don't partake. But I've been there, done that, but I don't. Not now. Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
because I was going to.
I got you.
I'm on that.
He's trying to have a little fun off the camera, folks. Pause, by the way, pause. But
So yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So times change, people change, attitudes change, and then they slowly catch up, and then the tide turns.
so do you see that it will be legal at some point?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. And would you partake if it's legal off the record?
Depends on the terms.
I think we'll
Depends
leave
on the
it.
bargain. Depends on the bargain. We're talking like commerce here in dealing and quid pro quos, right? We were talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we're talking hypotheticals.
Hypothetical.
Yeah, hypothetically.
Hypothetical.
Hypothetically, folks.
That's with an H. Hypothetically.
Well, I appreciate your time, man. You're the best interview I had so far, man.
I'm glad you agree.
All right,
I
thank
think so too. You're the best interview I've had.
And definitely check out the channel again, Scott84Force. I'm gonna be the next biggest thing. Trust me, it's going places. Mainly, what I really want to focus on is trying to help people overcome anger. But I felt like it was getting a little dull, so I want to spice it up with the question today. But if you check out some of my other works, I try to get guys to go and forgive their mothers for what they've done to them. Get anger out your heart, because trust me, you don't want to drop your body with anger. So that's really the premise of my channel, is to do something that I call like a silent prayer, where I turn my hands over and I watch my thoughts like I'm watching a movie first thing in the morning, and I turn my hands over at nighttime and watch my thoughts like I'm watching a movie. And what's revealed to me,
out of your body and observe yourself.
Create that separation.
That's pretty advanced.
Absolutely. And you always want to have a little separation between you and everything, including your body and your mind. So check out the channel, man. I think you'll see some value in it.
Great. And go USPS.
Well, I wear this mailman suit because it attracts attention. First thing people see on Sundays is like, the mail doesn't get delivered on Sunday. Who the hell is this guy?
Well, first thing I said was like, where the hell's my mail?
I don't have your
I'm
check.
kidding. All right. Take it easy.
Yeah, you too, man. Hey, excuse me, fellas. Can I come with you for a quick question for my YouTube channel? I'm doing like street interviews. It's a really good topic today. It's very, very interesting. At a minimum, you guys will be entertained. All right. So do you see that all men pay for spicy fun with women? Would you agree, disagree? Do you see that all men pay for spicy fun with women?
I can't say the word because we're live on YouTube.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you took an S and then you put a star in the middle and then put an X on the end, do you see at some point, like if a guy's going on a date with a woman, he wants to get to that point, even if he marries her, it's not a real marriage until you consummate.
So what the idea is, you're saying like at some point, the man has to pay to receive that.
Yeah. Actually, it's an acronym. MEAT. I say that all men pay with their meat. Shout out to Coach. Shout out to the Coach Tribe. That M stands for money, E stands for energy, A stands for attention, and T stands for time. So in some way, shape, or form, we're going to give this either monetarily or with our energy to get to that level to have that spicy fun. Would you guys agree, disagree, or have a testimonial about that?
Like, are you saying it's like one-sided? Like there's no meat from the opposite direction?
I'm saying that's the end goal for me.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. You said it's a very confusing question?
Yeah. Definitely can't testify.
You can't testify to that? So you never take a girl out on a date hoping that you can get to that level with her?
Definitely not for marriage, no.
Okay. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to you. Living the righteous path there.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that, man.
Yeah.
That's a very, narrow path that a lot of people can't get to.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. I mean, no judgment to people who don't.
Yeah. Shout out.
I'm not one to judge. But
Yeah, you don't hear that a lot of times nowadays because I have over 3,000 subs. I go around doing different interviews and stuff like that. So a lot of people are just kind of like heathens. They're just kind of out here. So you don't hear a lot of people like, I'm waiting until marriage. So that's really awesome, man.
Might be strong, but I understand.
Yeah. Well, they're definitely not on that path compared to him. They would be
Yeah, of
heathens.
course not. Yeah, that makes sense.
But would you say that in some way, shape, or form that, I mean, and not speaking for yourself, but let's say objectively speaking for men as a whole, that not all, but most men would say that's their goal when entertaining a woman?
Pretty big one.
yeah, I'd say, yeah. I mean, if you asked a man, should go with this girl, if that was an option, would you rather just be like, have a good night, or would you go there if that was the option? I think most men would say, well,
let me remix the question. Do you think he would do it at all if he knew that wasn't an option?
if it wasn't an option.
Like if she was like, this ain't gonna happen, we can go on 1,000 dates, I'm never gonna have this spicy fun with you. Do you think he would still do it?
I think most men would bail pretty early.
Okay. Do you think that's the wrong way to move?
I mean, if that's all you're trying to get out of it, I think that's pretty selfish.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, it should be some type of value exchange.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, and then taking it back to the original question, would you agree, disagree, or have a testimonial about it?
I mean, I kind of like him. I feel the same, but I can see the perspective. I don't know if I totally agree with it, but you're right. I do think that there's an element that like most men would be like, if that's not there, then I'm not going to participate.
Yeah, like a husband. Like he's just, he's a workhorse at that point. He's going to work, he's putting in 10, 12 hours a day, he's taking care of the kids, he's protecting the woman, he's building a community, and she's like, well, I had a chili dog, I did 5 loads of laundry, so,
Sure. Well, I mean, I think like in an ideal relationship, like it's not like that.
Right.
That there is a bit of back and forth. There's exchange from both sides. It's not just, like I feel that way with my wife. It's not just like, hey, I do this, and so then I'm expecting this in return. It's a bit of like, you want this, I want this, and you want relationship, I want relationship. And so maybe it's like different amounts at times.
Yeah.
But like, it's not just exchange. Might be the wrong word in that scenario.
Gotcha. So you don't think it's a value exchange?
I don't like value exchange makes it transactional.
Well, that actually brings me to another point, audience. I think this is my personal opinion. And again, if you guys want to see this interview, Scott Daddy 44 is on YouTube, or if you want to see my uncensored content, check me out on Rumble, Scott Daddy 44, because YouTube doesn't like some of these topics that I talk about. The main premise of my channel actually is a spiritual channel. I try to get men to overcome anger, and I try to get them to do something I call energy strengthening or silent prayer.
Sure.
So you'll see me like turn my hands over and do certain things like that. That's the main premise. It's getting a little dull, so I figured I'd spice it up with this question today.
Yeah, no, I think it's a great question.
But I think all relationships, just in general, are transactional, especially between men and women. Would you disagree with that? This is my personal opinion. I'm not speaking for you.
I would say, like, I think generally that's true, but I don't think that it should be that way, and I don't think it has to be that way.
Let me ask you this. If you had a daughter, do you have any children?
I'd say 2 boys.
Okay, 2 boys. If you had a daughter and a guy knocked on the door and said, hey, I'm going to just date your daughter off of love, would you be okay with that?
If God God said, like, I'm going to date your daughter out of love, like, or...
No, the guy said this.
Oh, the guy. Sorry.
He said, hey, Mr. Red beard guy.
Yeah, sure.
I'm here to date your daughter, and I don't really have anything to offer her but love.
I mean, I'd be a bit hesitant because, like, okay, what's the definition? What does that mean?
I don't have any monetary gains.
Yeah, like, I think that part of love is provision. You take care of people in the ways that they need to be taken care of. And so that doesn't have to be transactional. Like, I can provide for someone without being like, I'm doing this, and then in return I get something.
Can monetary be anything other than provision? Like, could there be another use for monetary outside of provision?
Sorry, I'm trying to understand, like, the question.
Like, what else could we use monetary for? I mean, that's pretty much what it's supposed to be, to transact.
Yeah, like, I think you're totally right. I think you can make relationships transactional, and then in that way you have to treat the relationship in a transactional manner. But I think that there's a way to relate that is outside of transaction. So, say, like, me and my wife, we're a team. Okay. So then if one of us is in a place to better financially provide, then that person maybe does that while the other person does something else. But that's not transactional. That's working as a team. Now, are most relationships like that? I don't think so. And I'm not even saying that we get it right most of the time. But I think that's the value that we strive to achieve. Okay. Is that there is...
Oh, wouldn't that be a value exchange at that point? Which would still be technically a transaction?
I mean, like, it depends on, like, which value you mean. Like, I think both of us would say we understand, like, from a religious side of things, we would say that we understand that God cares about us and gives us without, there's no transaction. I have nothing to provide an infinite God, and an infinite God gives it to me. And if that's the relationship that I can have with an infinite God, then I should model that same sort of relationship, that I should be able to give without expectation. That doesn't mean that, like, there shouldn't be any expectation, because if both people are doing that, then both people should be giving.
Right.
So I would say there's a value exchange like that, but it's different than pure materialism. What you're talking about,
might be saying the same thing. I think I'm saying tomato and you're saying tomato. I think we're really saying the same thing.
Yeah, like, because I guess what I'm trying to avoid is, like, pure materialism.
Yeah, we're not talking about going out and Figueroa and just, taking a fistful of 20s to a woman. We're saying that in some way, shape, or form, there's going to be most of the time for men, which I agree with, there's going to be a monetary exchange for services exchange.
Yeah, and I guess maybe what I'm pushing back on is the danger that I think that system could provide or run into is expectation.
Well, have you ever heard of a dowry?
Yeah.
I mean, do you disagree with that? Because it sounds like you might be Christian. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they did dowries, I believe, for thousands of years in the Christian faith.
Yeah, there was a cultural thing, and people who were Christians continued to do it because people in the culture were doing it. So, like, the dowry was basically what the female's father gave money to the husband, right? And it's kind of like, hey, this is to kind of take care of her and you guys as things move forward.
Wouldn't that be like a wedding nowadays?
Yeah, it could be similar to, I think, what a lot of people do with weddings and how they handle them, like parents or the fathers of the bride, like, paying for a lot of the wedding stuff.
To me, that's transactional.
I do think it's transactional, but I don't think it has to be that way. Because I don't think that's not like. And
I'm not trying to lower you down or anything like that. I'm really just trying to do interviews.
I totally understand. Yes, I think on some level, like, when it gets down to it, there is some point where there is some transaction.
Gotcha.
But I do think that, like, if the vast majority of your relationship is based on transaction.
Yeah, I agree with that. It shouldn't be that.
Or a huge part of it is transaction, then you run into a problem because it's no longer a relationship. It's business.
Yeah. Well, in a sense, I mean, I think that it should be. I think it should be. I think we should take, like, so-called love out of it. Because I believe there's a spiritual order of things. It goes, God or whatever you believe in the Most High. Your spiritual practice, which I consider, like, silent prayer. Most people call it meditation.
Yeah.
Men, women, children. And, like, love is passed down. I don't think women have love to give us. I think that they receive it. So we should be made in a certain way so that way we can pass that love down to our family. So it is kind of a business in a sense when you look at it, even from a spiritual point.
So, like let me maybe ask you a question. So, like, what happens in a situation like, say...
You go with the microphone.
Oh, yeah, I would say so.
He's going to interview me now, folks.
So, like, in a situation where, like, say I get cancer, and it progresses to stage 4, and my wife is now taking care of me. What transactionally am I offering in that situation? And in what sense wouldn't she be loving if she stuck around and saw things through until I die?
I would say your conscience and maybe even life insurance, if you're just looking at it from a physical sense.
What if there isn't much life insurance?
I mean, you know, we all can't be, you know, the richest man on earth. So I think that should be some things in place where she can benefit. Maybe the house. Maybe the network you have.
So what you're saying is, in some sense, like in that situation, I should still provide or be thinking about providing for her when I die.
Absolutely.
But I'm saying, like, what transactionally is she, like, when she could, okay, if we were doing a pure transactional system, she could go find someone else who could transactionally give more. And if transactions are what matter most, then we should constantly be trying to find the next best thing.
Well, I think that it meets, rubber meets the road, and there is an apex. I mean, because, you know, there's a funny joke where they say women go to, like, the man store, and then they go up and they say, well, you can get a man that's there on the first level, you get a man that's over 6 foot, you get a man over 6 figures, and then she's like, but if you roll the dice, you might be able to get a millionaire and a guy that's 6'5". And then they go up to there and they say, oh, well, we're fresh out of men on this level. So it does have a breaking point in some sense. But just to give you a quick story about my grandmother died when my father was 11 years old. And she never dated another man. She lived in a big house. She never needed to date another man. He set her up in a sense. So they transacted, you know, in that way to where she was still benefiting long after he passed away.
Yeah. I think that there is a way to see things as purely transactional and still be good. The danger that I would imagine comes from that is that I think that there's a lot of ways in which you could view transactionalism, I guess, if that's what you want to call it, where it's like you don't see it in the positive sense, but only use it in the negative sense.
Yeah.
And so, like, I guess for me, it's like I want to be careful how, on what end of the spectrum I end up in that definition.
Yeah, and real quick, audience, that brings me to a great point. This is exactly why you fellowship with men, because we're here to correct and edify one another. There's no right or wrong. This is exactly what a fellowship looks like. So remember that. Fellowship with men only. You correct and edify one another. You can conversate with women, but please only fellowship with men. So this is an excellent fellowship. And I don't want to take up too much more of your time because we need to do about 2-3 more interviews.
I understand.
But if you do want to see this interview, again, Scott Daddy 44, if you do want to talk to me more, you know, we can keep passing this buck back and forth because I think we can do this probably all night.
Yeah, sure.
Definitely check out the channel.
Yeah, it's great meeting you.
Nice meeting you too, man.
Yeah.
Charles.
What's the name again?
My name's Charles. The channel is called Scott Daddy 44.
Did you go to Young Life?
Yeah.
You go to Finneytown? Yeah.
Okay, cool. Making a connection.
Oh, okay, right there.
Yeah. Awesome. And I wear the mailman suit because I'm just here to deliver the message, so it keeps me objective.
Yeah, right.
Well, you can call me Yeshua's little brother, for sure.
All right, cool. God bless you.
We got some comments.
All right, we got some comments in there.
J Flo said, "Salute Sky Daddy, Cali West in chat. Don't be a sucker for love. Save a bit, buy a bit."
hey, folks. Cali West is on the extreme side. Don't take anything that he's saying to heart. Cali West is of the Braveheart. He's part of the Shield. If you know, you know.
You've had a few people commenting. James Adams said, "Yes, I totally agree." Cali West was in here. He said that. I don't know what that means, but
And real quick, let me give a shout out to James Adams. James Adams, we got your comment in there. Again, anytime you guys want to get in the comments, definitely put it at the bottom. All comments will be read on stage live, so get active. Don't be afraid. What else we got there, big dog?
And then I'm married for 21 years. Don't get married. That's from J Flo.
J Flo, why do you say don't get married nowadays? What's your reasoning behind that? I don't want to lean the audience one way or another, but put your 2 cents in the comments section, J Flo, and tell people why you don't advise getting married. All right, we got a few more interviews. How many minutes are we in?
34.
34. I always say I'm going to be here for a good time, not a long time. I don't want to keep this longer than an hour. It's a lot of editing I have to do. Also, I want to chop up the interviews. Excuse me. No. All right, let's keep it moving. Hey, guys, thanks again for the interview. Thank you. Yep. All right, let's see if we can get 2 more good interviews here. You want to try that couple over there?
Yeah.
I'm gonna try this girl right here too. And you can show when we get like these stale moments, it's kind of just careening around, just so it doesn't get dull. Show the shops and stuff like that. I don't want to be on camera. Hey, excuse me, man. Can I get your opinion on my YouTube channel about a survey that we got today? It's a great question.
I guess so, yeah.
Okay. Would you agree that all men pay for spicy fun in some way, shape, or form?
I don't think so.
No. Do you think that a husband would do husbandly duties if he felt like there was never an opportunity to have spicy fun with his wife?
Define husband duties.
Like, paying the bills, protecting people.
I don't think that's a husband duty. I think that's an everybody duty.
Okay. Do you think that he would even, consummate, or is a marriage even legitimate if they don't consummate?
Yes. What are these questions? Are these from the 1700s?
No.
Yes.
It's just a survey that we're doing.
This is crazy. Yes.
And I'm objective. I don't have a dog in the fight. I don't want to block these people from. But I appreciate your time, though.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, thank you. All right, guys. We got about maybe another interview or two that we can do. Looks like it's dwindling down just a little bit. And what you guys saw live there, put feminazi in the comments. That was absolutely feminazi. And fellas, never, ever, 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 ever try to convince a woman. Just move on.
J Flo said, it's a bad deal over the life of the contract. And then he said, I'll wash my wife's car for some special attention.
J Flo's a wild boy. He's a wild boy. All right, let's see if we can get a few more interviews. We got to make our way back here anyway. So let's cross the street and see what else we can get. But that was a wild one, man. I didn't even want to go on with it.
She
Why'd you say no to that back there? That couple. I want to get a few more young people. Are we still muted?
You're hot.
Huh?
You're hot.
My what?
You're live.
Oh,
They
okay.
can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. Hey, Big Dog, can I ask you a quick question for my YouTube channel?
Question.
We're asking people, do all men pay for spicy food? Would you agree, disagree, or have the testimonials?
Do all men pay for what?
Spicy fun. I can't say the word because we're live on YouTube.
I mean, I think indirectly, yeah, we're mammals at a different level. Peacocks show their feathers, we show our balls.
Got you. Very interesting. Very interesting. So you say that when a man takes a woman on a date, at some point he wants it to escalate to that level, right?
I don't know if there's necessarily an escalation that should be expected, but there's a process that has been endured.
Got you. Would you say that a marriage is even a real marriage if they don't consummate?
Well, I mean, technically speaking, consummation is part of the contractual vow. So without consummation, technically you wouldn't have a marriage by the standard of marriage.
Got you. Well, I appreciate your time, Big Dog. Totally agree. And if you want to see this interview, it's called Scott Daddy 44. I go around talking about spiritual topics. Today it's a secular topic. So I'm just trying to prove, and I actually agree with you, in some way, shape, or form, all men pay.
Yeah, I mean, again, if you look at, we're animals, even though we want to kind of escalate ourselves above that.
Right.
And typically speaking, in the animal kingdom, when you find the species, the female is usually the duller because they just have the ability to carry life. The male has the expectation of earning the right to mate.
Woo! He cooked it. Hit him with some flame on that. That was fire.
So, in our world, it would be no different.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you think that spicy fun should be legalized? Because someone would have told me 20 years ago, I'm halfway to 80, that we would have dispensaries and that we would be able to go online and sports bet. I wouldn't believe it. So,
I mean, that's one of those things like political structures like communism. In a pure form, it works. But I think the offshoots of it could be the scary part.
don't we in a way already have that? Like when you look at things like OnlyFans, I can't say the actual name. Like, and you look at, you know, just in general, sugar babies and stuff like that. Don't we already kind of have that?
That's more the monetization of sexuality. That there's a step between that and actually selling of the act. I think you have a difference.
Gotcha. So you think there's a difference between a wife selling herself to a husband than there is for a woman just selling herself to a John in general?
Yeah, one's transactional, one should be based on emotion.
Really? Which one would be based on emotion?
The marriage, in a sense, is a commitment that we have a tendency as males to want to gauge the one side of it and saying that we're carrying the weight and we're doing this and we're doing that. But again, culturally and structurally, we are hunters and gatherers. So in essence, when we go out, if we were to go back some thousands of years, we would have gone out and killed something and brought it back. Our ability to provide has always been part of the eco chain. So now that it's turned to money, it doesn't necessarily change, it just alters.
Would you disagree if they did legalize it?
I don't know if I would disagree, but I have a tendency to have a standpoint that I would think that, like I said, my concern would be the impact on how it was handled. I don't think that it's necessarily...
Let's say all things being perfect, they had a great system, it was done, you know, correctly, kind of like how dispensaries are done now. You had to get certifications and
testing and health.
Yeah, all that good stuff. Like kind of like a brothel.
Yeah, I mean, again, in theory, it works.
So you wouldn't have any issue with it?
I don't have a problem with any product they sell that I don't necessarily, even if I don't want it, I don't have a problem with it.
Gotcha. Very, very interesting, folks. Well, I appreciate your time. Again, if you want to see the interview, Sky Daddy 44s. I don't know if YouTube is going to allow me to have this up just because of what the topic is about. So you can also check me out on Rumble, Sky Daddy 44s. And that's where a lot of my uncensored content is at. But I appreciate your time, big dog.
All right, man.
All right. You have a good one. All right, guys. Let's see if we can get maybe one more interview and get out of here. Let me get a thumbnail real quick. Actually, we'll go up here.
There's some more comments if you want to read them real quick.
All right, let's get to a place where we can hear. Would you guys want to do a quick interview? You got me? Yeah. Okay, cool. This will be my last interview, and then we'll get a thumbnail. Right? I didn't normally talk about spiritual topics like overcoming anger, you know, forgiving in your heart, having a heart of love and not a heart of stone. But today I got a secular topic because those are getting kind of boring, so I want to spice it up a little bit. Okay. And today my topic is: do you see that all men pay for spicy fun at some point?
Define spicy fun.
Well, I can't say the word on YouTube, but it starts with an S and ends with an X. Like if he's going on a date with someone, at some point he's looking for to get to that point to where they would have said spicy fun.
I think that if spicy fun is something that you're obsessed with and you're within your masculinity, working within the confines that we're like taught to in the world, and yeah, you probably are paying. Do I think that's something you should do? Probably not, because it's like if you're going on a date, I feel like your goal shouldn't be spicy fun. You know, you should both have that already within the system of your life. Are you going on a date if you're like, I got this other angle? This isn't you don't actually want to spend time with that person. You should probably go to the sex worker. A spicy fun worker, folks.
We'll mute that part out.
Yeah.
But would you say that would be kind of risky for the man monetarily to continue to go on date after date and you really get nothing out of it at some point? Like, that's how a lot of men will look at it. Again, I'm just an interviewer. I wear a no-man suit because I'm just here to deliver a message.
Define nothing out of it.
Like, he goes to a date, she pats him on the head, she goes back to, you know, another guy that she's actually interested in. Yeah. He spent this money, he spent this time, and then he gets ghosted.
You should probably get out of your incel phase and recognize what's wrong with yourself.
Okay. I mean, what if she just did it for free will? That's happened. Good for her. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So, what do you say? Okay. Let me ask you a better question. Let me rephrase it. And again, I don't have any dog in the fight. I'm just interviewing. Yeah. Do you see that if, and I'm halfway to 80, if someone would have told me that there would be dispensaries everywhere.
You're 40 for real? Wow,
yeah.
Man.
Like no crack. Shout out to mom and dad. Shout out to mom and dad for eating all that fruit and make me eat vegetables growing up and all that other stuff that you guys made me do. So shout out to mom and dad. But I wouldn't believe that we'd be able to go online and sports bet. We'd be able to go to a dispensary and pick up a little green.
Right.
So do you see at some point Spicy Fun will be legal, like nationally? And would you disagree with it being legal?
I hope that it would.
Okay.
Yeah. No.
I didn't expect you to say that.
I'm all for that. I think that Spicy Fun workers should be legal. They should be unionized.
Oh wow.
They should have support. They should
Bring it in
have
a little bit.
access.
He said some good stuff.
I think that Spicy Fun workers should be. I think Spicy Fun work should be legalized.
Okay.
Spicy Fun workers should have access to health care. They should be able to unionize. They should be protected. Because right now it's one of the most active underground employment careers, let's consider it that.
Yeah, yeah.
In the
1099.
sense that dispensaries have taken away. As a Spicy Fun worker, you can't fill out a 1099, but you should be able to. You should have the same kind of legal protection that I do as a muralist or something like that, you know, no freelancing gig work, because it's all in the economy and these people are out there doing that anyway. So you look at dispensaries, weed is now legal in Ohio. A lot of the people who are working in dispensaries and so on, they sold before. They know the business.
It's a great
they
economy.
should have been able to be supported for their business. These are small business owners,
Right.
like it or not, 10 years ago and
Right.
now too, right?
And it does help a lot of
They
people
should have
out.
the same kind of protection and access,
Yeah. Wow. I actually I agree with that on a whole lot of fronts. I definitely see that at some point it will become legal. And, you know, do I agree with it or disagree with it? I think if it's done properly, it could be fine.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah, as long as it's not a monopoly like they want to do, like they wanted to do with weed, and like we're kind of getting with weed in Ohio, especially in some other states. You know, I do it right. I fully support it.
Gotcha. Well, I appreciate your time. Shake your hand. I appreciate your time. If you guys want to see the interview, the channel is called Sky Daddy 44s. Sky Daddy represents the most high. 44s represents the perfect circle of 490-degree angles. So again, I wear the mailman suit because I'm just here to deliver the message. The main premise of my channel is just to overcome anger.
Mm-hmm.
And would you say that? How would you say is the best way for people to overcome anger nowadays? Since I do have a spiritual tone.
I think that the first thing for me personally, as someone that struggles with anger, is catching my breath.
Okay.
You know, you start feeling yourself getting hot and tensing up. Take a couple deep breaths, relax, try and figure out where that anger is coming from and what it might actually really be stemming from. Because oftentimes, the thing that pissed me off, that triggered my anger, is actually what I'm mad about. It's something much deeper than myself.
Yeah, and actually I agree with that. And can I give you my 2 cents? Because I have perfect peace. I have no anger. And it was revealed to me. I do something I call silent prayer or energy shrinking.
Mm-hmm.
First thing in the morning, I turn my hands over. I watch the thoughts because we don't know where thoughts came from. We don't know where they went. I watch them like I'm watching a movie. I just let them come and go. And you're always supposed to keep a little separation between you and everything, including your mind and your body. And then last thing at night, I would turn my hands over again. I watch the thoughts like I'm watching a movie. And what was revealed to me is that I hated my mother.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So I went to my mom and I forgave her for what she did to me. Also went to my father and forgave him for not protecting me from what. And guess what happened to me? What's your name again?
Spider.
Spider. My name's Charles. Guess what happened to me, Spider?
What happened?
My anger went away.
Bam.
And I got perfect peace.
Peace.
Just washed away. And I stayed with it. I continue to do my energy strengthening and my silent prayer. And now that's what I go around and do and try to spread that love to everybody as far as delivering that message.
Yeah.
So,
Peace and love,
yeah,
man.
absolutely, man. Check out the channel. I think you could benefit from it.
All right. Thanks,
All right.
Charles.
Appreciate your time, Spider.
Yep.
Yep. Appreciate your time, man.
Yeah. Take care.
If you want to weigh in at all, you can always catch me on the rebound. Appreciate it. All right, guys. Let's see if we get one more interview. Big Dog, can you do an interview for my YouTube channel?
right now.
Come on, you know you want to.
Not right now.
All right, man. I'll catch you on the rebound.
So we can walk around. Lots of cute little.
All right, this might be it. I might just grab a thumbnail and get out of here, folks. I think we got enough interviews today. Man, can I ask you a quick question for my YouTube channel?
Yeah.
If you don't have time.
I was gonna say I really don't want to.
You look like you're a little bit. All right, guys. Let me get a thumbnail for the channel real quick. Let's try to get this movie theater in here. We got it. All right, but that's gonna wrap up this interview. I'm gonna keep this question going. I think I got some great responses. I got some great interactions. Definitely got some interesting perspectives. So that's been my time. I had a great interview. Hey, my man might be here on the rebound. You my last interview if you game. 2 hours. I'll see you, man. All right. We got more. Read the comments before we get out of here.
All right. Here, you can.
You go ahead and read them.
All right. when the dude with the dog was talking, he said, "Wise man."
Okay.
And then he said,
and YT is reading your comments right now, so we're gonna read all the comments before we get out of here.
He said, "Consummation proclamation."
Who said that?
J Flow. This is all J Flow.
Oh, J Flow.
And then he commented a banana because the dude was eating a banana. And then when he didn't believe you were 40, he said, "Word to mom and dad, we made it."
Okay.
And then he said the marriages, and this was when you were talking about legalizing. He said the marriage and divorce industries will fight against legalization.
She wants to interview? Don't be shy. The microphone doesn't bite. Okay, I got a little bit more time. We're reading all the comments before we get off stream. Hey, can I ask you to weigh in on my survey for my YouTube channel? No, I appreciate it. She ain't got it? All right, so we're going to come in for a drink one way or another. We're going to come in for a drink when we're done. I can come in now because I'm streaming. Okay. All right, but go ahead and keep reading the comments.
That was the last one. He said the marriage and divorce industries will fight against legalization of fun workers.
Okay, spicy workers. Spicy workers is what we're going with. All right, guys, it was fun. I had a great time interviewing. We'll find another spot next week. We're going to keep this question moving and grooving, but that is my time. If I stay any longer, you know what I got to do. Watch the arrow. We out.